as you guys know, Illinois, Florida, Arizona still having their primaries today. Tom Perez doesn't care at all. Tom Perez was like, well, the states, they're just going to do what they're going to do. They're prepared for your safety. That's what we were told. I really thought when everything was starting to unfold on Monday, they were going to cancel. I know Ohio canceled. I really thought everyone was going to cancel. I really did think that. I was like, they got to. This looks so bad that during a pandemic, you're going to put this kind of pressure on people like, well, do you want to go out and vote? Do you want to go out and vote? Because you have two choices. One choice is a guy who's going to take this country in a better direction. The other choice is a guy who will handle another pandemic just as badly as Trump did. And yes, Joe Biden would be just as bad as Trump in terms of handling a pandemic. He'd be clueless. So anyway, but we were told that everyone's safety was prepared for. Well, what's been going on so far today? Let's take a look, shall we? Let's go over to the Twitter. This is leftist agitator Jordan Barney, and here's what she has to say about this. Check this out. She's going to give you her role as well as what's going on.
I'm supposed to be an election judge tomorrow in the city of Chicago, and I've received absolutely zero communication about any sort of precautions that they're taking for COVID-19. Not a single word, not an email, not a letter, not a call. My friend had her training after the labeling of it as a pandemic on Wednesday. She had her training on Friday. The person who was training her had to bring their own hand sanitizer, and they had hand sanitizer before and after touching the machines. But my friend asked, will there be hand sanitizer and will this be standard procedure on the day of elections? And she said no. They were not taught, and I was not taught, to wipe down machines before and after use. We were not told whether we will be given hand sanitizer, whether we will be given wipes, nothing. I just called the Board of Elections, talked to someone. She said, there will be hand sanitizer, there will be wipes, there will be no gloves, there will be no masks. And I said, why wasn't anyone notified about even the hand sanitizer or the wipes? Are we teaching anyone? Are we telling anyone that they have to do this? She said they, quote unquote, didn't have time to send out a mass communication. They did not have time to email. And they said they're trying to call some people now to let them know. But people aren't being taught to do anything differently. Election judges are dropping out left and right, not just elderly. Friends of mine who are in their 20s are dropping out. I just called the governor's office. Well, first, the governor's Chicago office is nothing but a busy signal. I had to call Springfield, talk to someone there. I literally spoke, they listened to me, and then they said, thank you for your concerns. I'll be sure to pass it on. Goodbye. This is an absolute mess. I'm not one who's usually scared. I've been fine, but I'm scared to work as an election judge where there has been no precautions being let known, because even if they have hand sanitizer and wipes, that doesn't help if they don't teach people what they need to do and when. Plus,
So that's the video. This is your elections. Republicans, hey, poor people, hurry up and die. Democrats, hey, poor people, vote for us, then hurry up and die. Vote for us first, then you can go die. They don't care at all. The Democratic establishment doesn't care at all. They don't care about you. They don't care about voter turnout. They like low voter turnout. Are you kidding? Low voter turnout benefits their guy, Joe Biden. They know that. Low voter turnout always benefits the person to the right. It always does. It always will. So let's see what else. I mean, this is happening in real time. We're watching this unfold in real time. And there's been a lot of chilling things going on, but they all kind of have the same theme, that this is just a total circus. This is just crazy. Here, check this out. All right. Here's an election day thread from Rebecca Pearl. Election day so far, 5/8 of election staff are elderly. We were provided with no cleaning supplies. Sounds familiar. We are missing an entire blue box, meaning anyone who comes to this precinct cannot vote. So the precinct this person is at, the people who come there, they can't vote anyway. We are missing 2 election judges, and nobody is answering our calls. Voters now showing up, and we have to explain that we don't have the supplies for them to vote. And still no cleaning supplies. This is in Illinois, by the way. Off to a great start. Here's another tweet. Turned away about 20 voters so far. Many of them aren't able to come back another time. Blue box is now over 2 hours late. I have turned away about 35 people now, including one paramedic who is unable to vote later because of a newly packed day due to coronavirus. Now, here Rebecca tweets, just received cleaning supplies for 11 hours worth of voters. Now, for anyone who's listening to the podcast later, the picture that Rebecca has in her tweet here is one container of disinfecting wipes and one container of hand sanitizer. One hand sanitizer. It's a regular size, not the airplane size, at least. But just one container, one square container of hand sanitizer, and one container of Clorox disinfecting wipes for 11 hours. They should be wiping down the machines before and after each use. But as you saw in the previous video, they weren't trained to do that. They weren't even told to do that because people, quote, didn't have time. Now over 4 hours since we were supposed to receive the blue box. And here we go. So this is her, by the way, so this is her thread in real time, what she's going through as a poll worker. Now over 4 hours since we were supposed to receive the blue box, and we are being told to expect it to, not to expect it to show up at all. So the blue box ain't coming. By the way, Tom Perez resign is trending on Twitter, as it should be. Now, Rebecca says this, I'm not even old enough to vote. So this person who's going through all this, who's volunteering at the polls, she's not even old enough to vote. She can't even participate herself. But here's what else she says. Rest in peace, American democracy. Lost around 100 eligible voters already. And it's only 9:30 a.m. when they were tweeting this. Here's an update after that. 6 hours since we were supposed to receive voting supplies and still nothing. 5 hours ago, we were told the blue box with all the voting supplies was on its way. Now looking like we may never receive supplies, meaning nobody can vote at this precinct. That precinct is Ward 44, Precinct 33. Now, here's a message that she has for everyone at that precinct. If you're supposed to vote at Ward 44, Precinct 33, please DM me your name, number, and address, and go to the 19th District Police Station to vote. So shortly after she tweeted that out, 2-hour-long wait at the police station, and still no supplies after 7 hours. So this is what they're doing to people who want to vote. They're not prepared. They don't have the supplies. They're not taking proper precautions. They don't care about the poll workers. They don't care about the judges. They don't care about the people involved. They don't care about the voters. They just want to push this thing through. Because low voter turnout will benefit Joe Biden. They know that. This isn't just a government that doesn't care about you. This is a government working against its people. This is a government actively working against its people. You think they don't know what it's saying? You think they don't know what's going on? You think they don't listen? They didn't listen yesterday when they were saying, here's what we have to do. Here's the precautions we have to take. This is what we're on path to get to. And if we get to this, we're going to be like Italy. You think they weren't hearing all the cities shutting down Los Angeles? They're saying bars, restaurants, no. This is unbelievable. So here's the media. Here's what the media has to say. You're not going to hear much about this on the corporate media, by the way. You'll hear very little, if anything. All right. An Illinois primary like no other. This is what the Chicago Tribune posted last night. Low turnout, poll worker shortage expected amid coronavirus. Well, they got it. They got it. Chicago election officials stressed safety and encouraged voters to practice social distancing, even offering alternative, less crowded voting sites that didn't have supplies. Hey, there's alternative sites. They don't have supplies or anything. You can't actually vote, but they're there. They're alternative sites. Here's something they had the nerve to say. I want everyone to know that Chicago's voting system is safe. I want to encourage everyone to go out to vote. Wow. Wow. That aged well. That from last night, that sure as hell aged well. That aged really well. So let's go over to Florida for a little bit. Here's something from Fiorello from the Convo Couch. The Florida primary so far. Extremely low turnout due to the coronavirus. 762 poll workers did not show. Closed polling stations, so people have to drive further. Florida has a lot of retirees, so the people going to vote or working are over 65, and they're at high risk. So there's a lot of high-risk people that are going out to vote, that are working. Here's a couple tweets she highlighted. I just cannot go out and vote today. This is from Oliver Willis. I just cannot go out to vote today. It is killing me not to do so, but it is too risky for me. I hate this. Florida primary. Catherine Cannon voted for Bernie in Florida. I was the 31st vote. They normally have about 300 votes by the time I arrived. So typically a place that has about 300 votes had 31 today. 31 to 300. Democrats are death cultists. I do love that Twitter handle. That's an awesome Twitter handle. Someone messaged our students for Bernie group chat at 10:15 a.m. saying they were the 9th person to vote at our precinct. Voting has been open for 3 hours. The coronavirus is depressing turnout. Governor Ron DeSantis, you are engaging in voter suppression. Now, here's a sign from a precinct. They just left a sign written in Sharpie, and it just says, election judges did not show up. Please contact the county which you live in or the voting website for updates. And what did Fiorello tell us about 762 poll workers did not show? And it's not their fault, by the way. It's not their fault. It's the Democratic establishment's fault. It's the system's fault. It's the DNC's fault with allowing this to go through. It's the state's fault for not suspending the primary and moving it. I mean, wow. I mean, this is like, we're watching this in real time. So it's just chaotic all over the place. And people are putting their health on the line to go vote, and they're showing up to places, and they're like, we don't even have the stuff for you to vote. You can't, hey, I know you for some people, they might have really had to gather up the courage to be like, hey, I'm gonna sanitize my hands. I got hand sanitizer with me. I'm keeping a safe distance. I'm being really careful. And there you go. You show up. and you can't even vote. You're not even able to vote. Wow. This is something. This is really something. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your